made over the years here at UOP, a senior out of Huntington Beach.
Ball served out that time by Devin Scruggs, the junior. Only 2 seniors, Pam Lance and, of course, Elaina Oden in the Pacific lineup. Back to serve, the great setter, Sheri Standard. First team all Big West. Ball set up, Tara Cross tips it over the top. Pacific keeps the ball alive. Elaina Oden into the net. Elaina trying to take something off that and just push it over the net, and she goes into the net.
Look at Devin Scruggs there, but a lot of eyes are going to be on Elaina Oden and Tara Cross tonight as they come in heavily billed in this match, and rightfully so. Ball set up front, set by Beckenhauer, partially blocked off Scotlan. Outside, Tara Cross doing some of the setting early for Long Beach State. Blocked up front. And it lands in. Side out, Tigers. There's Pam Lance again. She got a good look on the outside. Now, as they were sucking over to defend against Elaina Oden, Lance got it on the outside. She had an opening down the line. We're tied at 1.
Back to serve is Lance. She goes to Tara Cross. Up front, Sanders to Cross, and she goes downtown.
Well, Cross no stranger to the kill. She's got 673 on the year, 5.96, and there she goes again, up to her old tricks.
She only leads the NCAA all-time kill leader. She is the Babe Ruth of kills. Actually, she's the Henry Aaron of kills. She was the Babe Ruth. Coming into this season, she was number 2 behind Glenn Duncan of BYU. She easily surpassed Duncan, is now the leader all-time by over 500 kills.
Arsada Haro.
Arsada Haro. That's right. Ball lands in. Side out to Pacific. 1-2. One thing Long Beach wants to do, Bob, is take this home crowd out of it.
Exactly right. Pacific loves their home court. They're 17-0 here this year.
Long Beach was 17-0 at Long Beach. So these teams differ a little on the road. They don't lose at home. Haven't all year.
There's Antoinette White, one of the really strong hitters for Long Beach State. 431 kills on the year. She averages 2.63 a match, hitting for a .251 percentage.
I'll tell you something about these starters. Number 6, Thompson, and number 15, Pullins for the 49ers. Both had heart problems this year. They were both cleared to come back. Pullins has only been back for a couple of weeks now, but they both missed some time earlier this year. They had tests, they were cleared, and they're back in the lineup. That is unbelievable to have 2 players in the same team in the same year with potential heart valve problems. But there's Antoinette White, and she is back healthy and playing hard, the sophomore from Linwood.
Rather ironic. Long Beach out in front, 3-1 now.
That ball tipped over by Krissy Fifer, the all-time percentage hit leader. She comes into the season with a .332 hitting percentage, and she's .344 leading the team on the season. She will no doubt be an All-American.
Plays very big, Krissy does. At 6'3", she jumps very high.
That young lady plays as big as they come when she jumps up like that. You Hawaii fans will remember when she came to town, Trisonya Thompson at times looked so good hitting the ball hard.
One of the 2 players that left USC to come to play for Long Beach State, and what a great addition they have been to this program.
Big dig by Sanders, pushed over by Elaina Oden. Ball put up front. Hitting each other at the net, but the ball goes over. Both teams going at it. Elaina Oden.
Melanie Beckenhauer, good look at her setting this one for Elaina Oden. But, you know, Elaina is an all-around player. You give her a couple of chances, going to put it away. That time, no block in front. They were off to one side, and she just put it down.
Sometimes I think they like to watch each other. Long Beach can even make an effort on the block. A serve that time, Krissy Fifer.
I'll tell you another thing about this Pacific team. Cathy Scotlan is a name you don't hear very often, but Cathy leads in almost every category for the Tigers this year as far as the block categories are concerned. She's also an excellent server, so we'll be hearing a lot of Cathy Scotlan's name.
Krissy Fifer getting her 19th ace. She has 41 service errors. She's more likely to error than ace, but at that point she gets the ace, and now Long Beach comes right back. Long Beach can play so big when some of these big players get up and smack it down.
Well, it's tough when you play on a team with a Tara Cross when you're an Antoinette White, because she's such a great athlete, but she's been overshadowed in her career because of Tara Cross. But
she will pick up the slack next year. She's only a sophomore, number 7. She serves for the state. Elaina Oden puts it down. A real treat here tonight and a treat tomorrow night. You're going to get to watch two of the country's most valuable players. This young lady, 1986, before her tragic knee problem where she tore ligaments and had surgery, was the player of the year nationally as a sophomore. In 87, it was T. William Sanders. We'll see her again tomorrow night. In 1988, of course, it was Tara Cross. Who will it be in 89? We will find out. There you see. How often do you get to see that in a sport? 3 MVPs all playing together.
Trisonya Thompson missing on the prior attempt, but this time making sure that it goes down, and she puts it away. Thompson hitting for a 350 hitting percentage, so pretty accurate hitter. I guess the correlation you can make is it's when you hit 300 in volleyball, it's like hitting 300 in baseball.
That's the comparison we've made all year. And Long Beach is hitting a phenomenal 305. Their opponents are hitting just 172. Pacific is hitting 274. And how about this? Their opposition is hitting just 152. They're the best defensive team here. Ball put down. Tara Cross goes the other way.
Well, John, this has the markings of the first match we had tonight. Cal Poly and Hawaii going the distance, and finally Hawaii holding on to win. They'll be waiting in that winner's bracket.
One thing for Long Beach tonight, they're a little bit of an enigma. They've got to get over that hump of winning the big match. They've never beaten Hawaii or Pacific in a big regional. This being their second year here, they got to do it now with a few seniors on their team. Cheryl Stevens, a senior, Trisonya Thompson, Sheri Sanders, and of course Tara Cross. It's a big year for Long Beach State to move their program to the top echelon with Pacific and Hawaii. Beckenhauer goes long cross court. Fifer off the block. Krissy Fifer skying for that one. Big 30-inch vertical jump.
Big, big leaper. You know, Brian Gimolaro has done a great job at Long Beach State. They last won a national title in '75. Then they dropped off to mediocrity, but he's brought them back. They were in the NCAA regionals in '88, and now right here in the regionals again in '89.
4-3 Pacific on the missed seventh set. Cathy Scotlan back to serve.
Tough server for the Tigers.
Good floater goes over. Sanders that time up front. Net violation called against Pacific, but it's side out anyway. Good hit by Antoinette White. Cathy Scotlan back there serving. Needs only 9 more blocks, Bob, to become the all-time Pacific leader in blocks. She really has been a force, but again, when you've got players like Fifer and Oden,
that's right,
you get overshadowed. Beckenhauer calls Pam Lance's number, and a solo block up front. Trisonya Thompson.
Don't let Trisonya Thompson get too hot too early, because she can be devastating at the front line. Look at her go high above the net and just put that one down. Big block by Trisonya.
These teams finishing second and third in the Big West this year behind Hawaii. They are ranked third and fourth in the country. They split their 2 matches and get much more even in the way these teams have played this year. No doubt Pacific is hot coming into this match. They've won 7 in a row and 12 of their last 13. Long Beach State has won 18 of their past 19. So you got 2 hot teams facing each other tonight. Outside, Fifer's block, and it lands out off the block. 5-4 Tigers.
Well, Devin Scruggs leaves. Sharon Kasser, some more firepower comes into the front row, but given to Krissy Fifer, she puts it away. She's got 451 kills on the year. She's got a handful already here tonight.
Put down, and it lands inside the line. Coaching staff, Jeannie McHugh, the assistant coach, thought that ball landed out by a foot. John Dunning says, come on, Jeannie, it's all right. John Dunning, as you see, in his 5th year, look at that record. Took over for a legend in Paris Leskevich, the women's Olympic coach. Ball set up. Smack down. What a root. Antoinette White kills that ball. Elaina Oden just sends it back. Rejected.
Now, big hitting right here. Elaina Oden on the big block. And, you know, Elaina on the year has 96 block assists and 23 solo blocks. So she does a great job. Number 2 on the team in that category.
She says the knee injury has made her become a more well-rounded player. She doesn't get up as high as she used to, but she's worked on all facets of her game. And what a success story she is. I'll tell you a great story about her in just a moment as Long Beach gets it back. She was thinking of quitting when she first started trying to come back. She didn't know about the surgery and coming back. She got a call from Bubba Paris, the offensive lineman for the San Francisco 49ers. He said, if you're going to quit because your knee is bothering you, or you don't think you can do it, don't quit because of that. She came back, good physical therapy, and now she's potentially an All-American again.
No question. You know, it's so hard for an athlete that plays at the level that she does to play at levels below because of an injury, and it's really frustrating. She is just really starting to come back into the form that everyone knew a few years back.
5-5. Game 1. We'll play 3 out of 5. First one to win 3. In our first match tonight, it took 5. Hawaii winning 15-12, 15-12 the last 2 games to take it from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. 6-5 now. Long Beach State pulls ahead.
There you see Tara Cross, who's the killing machine here for Long Beach State. She's off and running here tonight again.
Free ball for Long Beach State. Tara Cross tries to punch it over. Actually, that was Trisonya Thompson. Tough set that time by Sheri Sanders. Sanders back set, blocked up front. Tara Cross, roofed by Pam Lance.
Well, Pam Lance being victimized a couple of times at the net already, but this time she makes the adjustment and she puts one of the toughest hitters in the nation back with a good block.
Sheri Sanders tips it over. Oden, great defense, kept alive. Superb play that time by Debbie Steele, or by Sharon Kasser. It lands out. Oh, what a dig. Let's watch it.
Excellent play by the Tigers. Everyone thought it was down. Watch the delayed reaction as it comes back off the hardwood. Oh, we'd see the spike instead.
Sheri Sanders goes way up for Cross, and she goes way down. Diving effort by Krissy Fifer. She can't get there. Side out to Long Beach. Back and forth we go. Long Beach led, Pacific led. Long Beach led, and now Pacific leads again. We've had 4 lead changes. A serve between Fifer in the back row and Pam Lance.
Tigers a little out of sync in the back row right now. They're not playing real solid volleyball.
Ball goes deep again. Oden this time. Beckenhauer up front. Ball lands way out. Effort that time as it smacked deep.
Sharon Kasser, 6'2" sophomore, just getting a little under that one and letting it sail way deep.
8-7. That time 2 players going for it, and the ball sped up outside. Kept in nicely. Just a great save to keep it alive. Off the block and going down that time hard as she was in the net with Sharon Kasser. Side out to the Tigers.
Good sign. Sharon Kasser made a bad play in the play before. She came back to keep a ball in play, an acrobatic play to keep it inside the antenna, then went up in good position to make the block, but there was no need because the ball hit the top of the net. 4 hits on the Long Beach side.
Good play by Kasser is right. Just kept it in play, and good things happen when you do that. That time Fifer, partially screened, can't make the block, can't make the save, can't make the dig, and it's side out for Long Beach. Long Beach preventing Pacific from taking the lead. 8-7. Floater over the top. Oden. Beckenhauer goes cross court. Tipped over by Scotlan. Side out. Good play by Cathy Scotlan. All Big West first team. All Northwest region first team. Hitting 270.
Scotlan leads in block solos, block assists, digs, serving aces.
She's also played in 109 out of the 114 games this team has played, so she is out there every night, every game.
I believe Krissy Fifer for being interfering over the top of the net on that one.
Tara Cross in the back row now. She will serve.
Another thing we should point out, too, Sheri Sanders and her height. Exactly right. At 5'2", she's a good target when she's in the front row rotation, and she'll be victimized up there. There's timeout right now. John Dunning wants to talk about it.
Long Beach State leading 9-7. Dunning calls a timeout and silences the home crowd. Tara Cross adding 5 kills already tonight in game 1. Every one she adds just adds to her record. All-time kill leader. There's a great play by Oden. And a dig in the back row. Going down hard was Thompson. Inside out, Pacific.
Elaina probably plays with less emotion than most people you'll see on the court. I mean, she just plays with that stoic look all the time. Interesting comment that John Dunning made, though, that since she's been injured and coming back, she has taken more pride and more enjoyment out of her fellow teammates making good plays. She's been more of a cheerleader this year, which is a good sign.
Showing more joy at the other players' great plays, which is what the best of them have to do, because she is looked at as a real team leader and a role model. For you kids out there, Take a look at the braces on that young lady's legs. That's Cathy Scotlan, but on Elaina Oden's legs. And you know what she came through. A cruciate interior ligament can be career-ending. And she has come back and come back strong. Tipped over the top. Two players diving, kept alive, but out. Side out, back to Pacific.
You know, you mentioned Terry Leskevich, who was the coach here at Pacific, really the guy that brought volleyball to this area, now the national team coach. And he, I know, is licking his chops with T coming next year, Tara coming next year, and quite possibly Elaina.
And T. William Sanders, too.
Did I mention her off the top?
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the kills there, the 49ers, with a bunch of players who can do the job. One of the reasons they're ranked 4th in the country is because people other than Tara Cross take the slack sometimes, which you have to have with great teams, just like that young lady, Krissy Fifer, who does it when Elaina Oden doesn't. And here's the lady that sets them all night long, Melanie Beckenhauer, 2nd team All-Northwest region. She has 90% of the Pacific sets this year. Sanders has 89%, so you'll see just about every ball go to those two young ladies all night long. 9-8. Long Beach serving. Looks like the mummy up there up front. Trisonya Thompson with the tape job on the fingers and the hands. She's got the long wraps on her leg. And that point that time, Antoinette White pushes it over the top for a good kill.
Good adjustment by Antoinette. Normally she likes to power the volleyball. She's learned a little bit this year, and that time she just dumped it inside. Good finesse.
Fifer partially blocked, kept alive in the back. Sanders goes back set, roof, kept alive. Great defense by Sanders. What a phenomenal play from her back. And Fifer ends it. Great rally. Fifer shakes her head because I can't believe she stuffed that first one.
Well, Beckenhauer had a good look. She had Elaina on the inside and Fifer on the outside. Had her choice. She decided to push it low to the outside, and Krissy went up and just beat it down.
Back to serve. Vicki Simonis. And side out, back over to Long Beach. Long Beach not letting Pacific get any momentum going, which also takes the 7th man out of it, and that's the crowd.
Antoinette White, she's a force to be reckoned with up in front. You've got Tara, you've got Antoinette.
John Dunning talking strategy with Krissy Fifer. All set up in the front, off the block, kept alive. Long Beach doing what they do well. Good defense off the head of Tara Cross and kept alive by White. Elaina Oden sets it outside. Lance. Outside over the top. Scotlan with a great dig. Up front, tipped over the top, but that one is an easy play. Here's Long Beach with a chance. Cross kills it. No, a good rally that time. The Pacific will take it back.
Great play on both sides of the net. Both teams keeping the ball up. Some excellent digs on the Long Beach side, and I guess you could say this is really using your head here. Well, Tara using it hard.
As long as it's above the waist, it counts if it stays up. Tara going up at the net. That time, no. Pacific puts it over. Here's Cross. Right across. Cross goes across for it that time.
Sheri Sanders, great setter. And, you know, she's taught by one of the best, Debbie Green, who is a Hall of Famer in volleyball, a former Olympic competitor. She's her coach, and that makes a big difference with Sheri Sanders out there. What a job she's done.
Lance up front, Beckenhauer outside. Lance comes up, it's kept alive. There's White. Sanders pops it over. Oden. Beckenhauer. Scotlan gets the point. Gets the side out. 8-10. Checking back in Devin Scruggs. Student athlete Devin Scruggs was recently named to the GTE Academic All-American list. She has a 3.84 grade point average. All set outside. Lance blocked. Dug out in the back. Cross tips it over. Elaina Oden tips it off the block. Sanders. Sonia Thompson. Actually, it was Cheryl Stevens puts it down side out going back over. The Long Beach State Pacific just can't get back and tie it. Sheri Sanders goes to the back to serve now. 10-8. Game number 1. White tips it over the top. Sanders to her knees with that set. All across just pops it. Beckenhauer goes way outside. Lance off the block. Sanders. Romero. Outside the net. No, it goes inside. But down the line, it lands out. John Dunning can't believe that ball did not get called outside the antenna. Romero pointing to the net and said, no, it came inside. Hard to tell. But linesperson with the last call, as always, Sue Lemire, the umpire. Let's watch it and see where it did come through. That ball
looks like it caught the antenna.
Looks like it caught the pole, but it didn't shake. It caught the bottom of the pole, it didn't shake. And a point to Long Beach. Now Pacific gets it back. But a point there and check it in.
Here's Katy Eldredge, a freshman coming in for the Tigers, replacing Pam Lance and Vicki Simonis, the other freshman leaving, and Krissy Fifer going in to play the front line. Eldredge has 20 aces on the year.
Ball set up front, missed it that time. Two teams have met twice in postseason play. Last year, Pacific winning 3-1 in Honolulu at Clum Gym in the semifinals of the regional, and in '87, Pacific won a first-round match from Long Beach. Long Beach getting to the regional for the second year in a row this year. They're in the semifinals tonight. They need to get over the hump to prove they belong in that elite group with Stanford, UCLA, Hawaii, and Pacific. Ooh, great play that time. Is just having to make the play because her teammate faked her out. Was White. She tips it over again. And there's an even better play. Fifer puts it away. We're tied at 11.
Kind of a funny exchange that time. There were a lot of looked like misconnections going on, but still both teams not letting it die, and finally the Tigers able to knock it off.
Katy Eldredge doing the job, as you said, Bob, coming in and serving. Romero off the block. Outside, here's Fifer again. This time she tries to take something off it and hits it a little bit deep, side out. When she was faked out on the set, John Dunning yelling to Beckenhauer, it's all right. You see how solid these two teams are. Coming in tonight, 6'2" freshman from Houston, Alicia Mills. She'll come in up front to help add to the block. Long Beach feels they need the blocking up front. And there it is. It is. How about that? I'll come in, I'll silence the crowd. Alicia Mills with a hair that looks kind of like a volcano on top of that red head.
Brian Gimolero getting the Coach's Award for knowing when to put somebody in.
All Northwest Region Co-Coach of the Year, which means he'll be up for the Coach of the Year in the country. Good dig in the back row that time. Eldredge, ooh, a big kill up front by Cathy, Scotlan. She'll go back to serve. She has 32 aces to lead the team. She also has 49 service errors, which lead the team. Second team All Big West last year. First team All Big West this year. First team All Northwest Region. Having a banner year for John Dunning. Outside White, through the block, side out. So Pacific got even. Long Beach gets ahead. Big momentum builder if someone can take this first game. You look at Antoinette White's stats last week in the first round triumph over San Diego State. Pushed up front, outside. White through the block, kept alive. Sanders. Alicia Mills goes up lefty, and that threw him off. Scotland can't keep it alive. Interesting choice that time as Mills, with their left hand, hit that one over. I think it caught Pacific off guard. John Dunning is going to call timeout. 13-11, the Niners lead. Leader, and the three ladies on the bottom there, the career kill leaders for their respective teams, so you see how far behind the rest of the group they are. We will point out T. Williams-Sanders only played 3 years at Hawaii. Who knows what she would have done had she had that 4th year, but you are really seeing the best there is to offer in women's volleyball. And in Tower Cross, you are seeing the all-time kill leader. And as we said, the respective kill leaders, Elaina Oden for Pacific, T. Williams-Sanders for Hawaii, Michelle Hansen for Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. 14-11, it's over! Just like that, coming back from the timeout, and Long Beach State runs away 15-11 in game number 1. They will go on to face the winner of the Texas game later on tonight. We hope to have some more scores before we're done tonight.
A lot of controversy across the country about seeding and the way the NCAA does that, and maybe we can talk about that a little later on. For example, tonight here in the Northwest Regional, you've got the number 1 team, the number 3 team, the number 4 team in the nation, and only 1 team will emerge from this regional.
Well, a lot of people are saying that California against Texas is going to be a big match because a lot of people think California can beat Texas and win that regional, and that would say something about West Coast volleyball again. We said it at the outset, that there are just too many stacked teams in this Big West and this Northwest Regional, and possibly other teams have the easy road to get to the Final Four. But to their credit, look at Texas last year. They may have had an easy road to get there, but they shut out UCLA and Hawaii to win the championship. Ace serve to start the game off was Long Beach State. They've effectively silenced this crowd who's just dying to get into it. And Tara Cross off the tip makes it 2-0 Long Beach State. Bob, your thoughts on what Pacific needs to do?
Well, Pacific's got to play a little better in the back court. They're just not doing a good job. They're not really blocking that well. I'll tell you, that was a great set by Sanders that time. She sent it all the way across court and right up there for Tara Cross.
Good diving dig by Romero, kept alive. Tara Cross, big kill, but it's partially blocked. Dig again, Romero just taking it off her body like a goalie taking punishment. Kept alive by Pacific. This time Romero makes a nice pass, and Sanders dumps it, kept alive. Long Beach celebrating too early. Sanders goes outside, Tara Cross off the block, kept alive by White, kept alive by Cross, but no. What a rally that one was.
Yeah, great rally. Sanders is fun to watch. She can really set, but I'll tell you what, Long Beach just will not let the ball go down. They're a little more tenacious than Pacific is right now. Watch the digs. I mean, they just keep the ball up. They won't let it go down. They keep it in play, and that's what's so tough.
Well, Romero took a couple of shots off the chest and the shoulder. She looked like she was just playing like a deflection. Like we were at a shooting gallery and she was the target, but she kept it alive. Sanders tried to dump one and she jumped up in the air to celebrate. Pacific kept it alive and they'll serve at 0-2. Sanders goes all the way across. Tara Cross through the block. Boy, that is quite a set. She is hitting that ball about as far across the court as you can, Bob.
Yeah, very, very tough. And I'll tell you what, that was power against power. Scotlan, the big blocker for Pacific, and Tara Cross, the big hammer on the other side. Tara Cross won that contest.
Sheri Sanders, momentum drifting toward Long Beach. Their bench starting to cheer. Popped up, there's a mistake. Ball hit over by mistake by Vicki Pullins, the big 6'3" junior from Las Vegas. Just tried to pop it up. Pullins seeing some front row action now. Brian Gimolero. And the ball hits the net. Mistake on the serve by Scotlan. Side out, Tara Cross.
Tigers kind of fading into the O-zone here in the last couple of exchanges. Not hooking up well, and now the service air.
Could be the fog here at Stockton. Ball set in the back. Good defensive play by Sanders.
There you go again.
Okay, Romero has just done a yeoman's duty in the last 3-4 minutes on defense. She has owned this floor at Pacific.
210 digs on the year for Romero.
There's a good jump by Beckenhauer.
Beckenhauer works that play very well, and with her height, 6 feet even, she's able to get up and dump the ball down effectively.
Ball set up front. Sanders back set off Pullins, kept alive, tipped over the top. Pacific wanted something called. They don't get it. And Sheri Sanders is hurt. She smacked heads with Romero on the floor. She gets up slowly. Maybe a few cobwebs. I think her neck got jammed as she went down, Bob. Let's watch.
Yeah, this is a little painful here.
There's Romero. And there you see her getting her head set on. And I think she also got a little neck jam. We'll see how Sheri Sanders recovers.
And I'll tell you what, Long Beach is doing the best Cal Poly impersonation I've seen in a long time. They're digging everything.
Sanders does that one across court and hits the deck. Sanders sets it outside, going across White. Kept alive by Pacific. A lot of players jumping for Long Beach. There's a great dig. Sanders coming back. Ball set across.
There are bodies flying on every direction on this court, and that time Elaina Oden finally got a set and put it away with no block in front. Great effort on the Long Beach State side.
Two serving three. Pacific trying to tie things up. Scotlan. Ball set outside, and there it is through the block. Devin Scruggs.
Tigers coming back out of it now. Beckenhauer on a little run here. We're tied at 3.
Ball set up by Sanders. And Oden. Fifer. So quickly, 2 names we haven't called much in the last 10 minutes. Fifer and Oden.
Exactly. And the Tigers have not been hooking up well, but right here, Krissy Fifer gets a good set off a decent pass.
He puts it down, and it's 4-3 Pacific. We'll be back from Stockton. Ball set up on the Long Beach side, and Tara Cross, ooh, from behind the 10-foot line, looking like Michael Jordan as she hangs in the air on that one.
Behind the 10-foot line, yet over the net.
Boy, that's a strong hit by a strong player. She has the NCAA record for double-figure kills in a match at 130. That record was broken. That streak was broken. She's now come back and has about 50 or so in a row, but that means she's had at least 10 kills every match, day in and day out. That man loves it. Of course, he doesn't like the serves into the net. He just got one of those from Sheri Thormahlen, one of the subs that he'll put in. She's played 110 games for this team, and that's most of them this season.
Elaina Oden with a big block that time, and it caused, I believe it was Thompson to get caught in the net.
These two teams very easy. Pacific, very even. Pacific 29-4, Long Beach 28-5. Pacific has played 114 games. Long Beach State has played 113 games. So they are really very, very even. They've split. How much more can I tell you? I won't. Ball lands in the roof up front. Point to Pacific. It's 6-3.
That's Devin Scruggs doing a great job. And once again, it's the key for the Tigers is the big block, and that's Scruggs coming hard, bumping into Oden, but getting the job done prior to that bump.
All set up, Thormahlen. Tough set that time. Tara Cross let it go, and jumping across. Kept alive, but that'll be 4 hits on the Pacific side.
Tigers starting to scrap a little bit, keeping the ball off the floor. Good effort that time. They just couldn't quite get it high enough.
Wiping up on the floor, you take a look at Christine Romero. Very athletic young lady. She has been making some incredible saves. There's a score from the South Regional. Texas, as expected, perhaps, at home, winning rather easily. So much for the upset hopes of the Cal Berkeley squad as they go out quietly tonight in front of the home throng of the Austin, Texas Longhorns. So Texas and Texas Arlington, as expected, will meet tomorrow night and renew their rivalry for a trip to Hawaii and the Final Four. In the South, it's Texas and Texas Arlington. Good play, left-handed tip, smart thinking.
Well, it was a bad set by Sanders, but I'll tell you what, White just made short work of it. She went in and just pushed it over with the other hand. Excellent play by this fine athlete. Only a sophomore.
Antoinette, right, really using her head that time as well as her left hand. She is back deep to serve, hanging out with the officials in the back row. Roof up front, a big roof that time by Trisonya Thompson.
Trisonya's got 9 solo blocks coming into the match, and here's a great one right here as she puts it down on Cathy Scotlan.
4-6. Long Beach won the first game. Off the block. White making the play. This ball's got to go over. Good call that time. As Thormahlen says, I'll take it, and she puts it over. Free ball. Pacific. Scotlan hits it out. Unforced error. Cathy Scotlan, and the famous volleyball chant of "My fault."
Well, big mix-up that time on the set. Scotlan started going one way. The set went the other. And by the time she got to it, she was totally out of sync and went wide.
Ball set and killed that time. Tara Cross ties it up at 6-6. You know, we came into this match probably expecting Pacific and Hawaii with 2 higher seeds. Hawaii stretched to the limit, and right now Pacific having some trouble losing the first game to Long Beach State. Outside set, Devin Scruggs pops it over the block. Point at 7-6.
Now, as you mentioned, John, this match is as even as it can be. If you look at the statistics right down the line, we are nip and tuck, and right now it's Long Beach out in front, 7-6.
John Dunning calls a timeout. Brian Gimolero very happy as his team pulls ahead, serving and leading 7-6. Outside set. And Scruggs gets it back. And Romero was diving into Sanders. Boy, those two can't get away from each other.
Devin Scruggs after the kill going back to serve.
Pacific trying to get untracked here. We're in game 2. You know, with such good teams, you just can't wait too long. Coming back, it's going to get harder and harder. Long Beach State trying to smell victory in a big match.
With John Dunning with a late substitution. Heather Schoeny coming in now replacing Scruggs. Heather with the left hand. Let's see if she can get some things going here for the Tigers. They trail 7-6 here in game number 2. They lost game number 1.
We've always said Dunning has to have at least 1 or 2 redheads on his team. He's got them. Schoeny the redhead and Fifer.
That Pacific, they're orange heads.
Orange heads, I'm sorry. Ball tipped in the back. There's Thormahlen as she stays in the back row. Tara Cross kills right through the block. Tara Cross, a line drive kill, goes through the block. Coming back in up front. Number 15, Vicki Pullins, another scorer. West Regional, UCLA taking care of Arizona, but look at the score in games 2 and 3. Arizona coming close, but no cigars. So UCLA advances to the final of the West Regional tomorrow night.
UCLA lost here in the finals of the Wendy's Classic to Pacific just a couple of weeks ago. That time they were ranked number 1 with UCLA in the country.
With Hawaii.
Hawaii, excuse me.
And the NCAA rankings now, Hawaii 1, UCLA 2, Pacific 3, and Long Beach 4. That ball off the block. Point to Long Beach, 8-6. Anti-faithful crowd of the Tigers imploring their team, let's get going. The mummy, Trisonya Thompson with the serve. Dumped over the top by Beckenhauer. Right there with Tara Cross. She was not fooled. It's 9-6.
Tara starting to assert herself now. Big kill machine up in front, and that time she was a blocking solo act as Beckenhauer tried to dump it over. Cross would have nothing of it.
Ball set up Scotlan. Not much on that one. All set up. Here's Scotlan again. Not much on it. Dig by Romero again. And that time Sheri Sanders showing what happens when a 5'2" young lady goes up for a kill. She gets blocked.
Well, she had to do it. She had no other choice. And she went up and she was right into the top of the roof and down on top of it. Sheri smiles, laughs it off, and says, yeah, but nobody gets set like I can.
That's right. They don't pay me to do that. So get it out of my system. I'm done. Off the block. That time Scotlan going up with Beckenhauer. And Beckenhauer at 6 feet, like Sherry Boyer for Hawaii, does a good job on the block. But so far, Cross has solved that double block. They go right through a pair of blockers.
Vicki Pullins in that middle blocker right now for Long Beach.
Cathy Scotlan, her biggest hit of the night, down hard on the hardwood.
Right, that's what the Tigers are going to have to do. They're going to have to block a little stronger. When that ball goes outside the cross, she's putting almost everything down. Got to block, get some deflections, pick some balls up, and then go to the attack on their side of the net. Carol Conti into the match to serve for the Tigers.
Krissy coming to the back row to do some serving and play some defense. Romero off the block, and no one is there. Fifer looking around, but Krissy could have been there for that, but she didn't make the play.
Now that's frustrating for a blocker up in front. When you get a good piece of the ball and it goes up and the people in the back can't come up to help you out.
9-6. Pacific doesn't want to let Long Beach get away in game 2. Side out goes back. It's Fifer. Name we haven't called in a while. Up front in the middle now, Elaina Oden. Let's see if she can get herself together. And coming back in up front, number 4. Sharon Kasser comes in. There's Fifer. Looking for the signal, the movement on the offense and the defense. Sanders goes to White. Ball deflected, and what a big hit that was by White. The ball might have been long, but it was hit off the block, so it's 10-6.
I don't think it was touching the net. I thought it was Pam Lance that touched way
in the back.
Deep, yes.
Might have been touched twice. I'm sorry, it was side out, so it's still 9-6. Long Beach serving. Elaina Oden off the block. No one's going to get to that one.
Here's Vicki Simonis coming in to play back row for Fifer and the Tigers. Simonis played very well. She's only a freshman, but a very strong back row player. Good server.
Here's Simonis from Palatine, Illinois. Side out for Long Beach. Simonis, the only player from out of state. John Dunning doing a great job recruiting right here in California. He's got a Palatine, Illinois freshman, Vicki Simonis, and everybody else in the roster resides right here. in the California Republic. That ball hit over and kept alive by Pacific. That one went off the blocker. Romero up front. Sanders goes across. White through the block. And it lands out.
Well, that's unusual to see her miss one. She hasn't missed too many tonight. You know, you mentioned the California talent on the Pacific team. I think that's a credit to the junior programs that have been started. And John Denning has such a network in the junior programs. That's where he came from when he came to Pacific.
Sanders outside, and that time a net violation called against Pacific, so it'll be side out to Long Beach. And White goes back to serve. Antoinette White with the serve. She goes deep and too deep as it lands out. So all that weight, and then she serves it out.
I'll tell you what, that didn't look like it, after all, didn't miss by all that much. It came down pretty close to that end line.
She leads the team in service aces, so every once in a while I guess she's entitled to miss. You don't get the aces if you don't make the errors once in a while.
She's got 52 of those, too.
Yeah, you just want to keep the percentages at least even. Then Oden with a good block. And that time a little mistake up front, and she should not have hit it over. Trisonya Thompson should have set it up. She didn't set it up. Had to do it herself.
I don't know if we have a look at this, John, but Elaina Oden has such great hand-eye coordination. She takes a couple and just keeps them in play. Excellent job. This is Cathy Scotlan at the end of the play, putting it away for the Tigers.
Up front, Beckenhauer to Scotland. Romero diving again. Tara Cross through the block, and Oden can't get down to make the play. You watch Oden go down, you just know she's being careful with that knee. She uses her hands to break her fall so many times.
No question. 2 years ago, she gets this ball, but now with that bad knee, she's only got so much mobility, and you can see it cave on her just a little bit.
And you see how she falls. She lands on her back and on her bottom and gets her arms down. All set up front block, Sanders. Romero set to a set. Cross. Pops it up. Off the kill. Sanders outside Romero. He goes back to White in the back row. Down the line, but out. So when we saw Antoinette White in Honolulu, and remember Hawaii beat this Long Beach team 3-0, 3-0, that's what she would do. She would make some great hits and then just hit wild balls out.
Well, that's kind of the temperament of some of the great outside hitters. They're real emotional players. They're up and down. They have a tendency to play streaky.
7-9. Pam Lance back to serve. Back set to Cross off of Oden. Oh, what a play. Oh, Oden.
For a big girl, unbelievable reflexes. You see the hand-eye coordination, how quick she was there. Look at her just, boom, right there.
That was a defensive move to keep it in play, and look where she put it, right in the opening. Give her a kill. 8-9, it could be a momentum switch. Let's see. Not if that young lady has anything to say about it. Tara Cross has really one goal left in her volleyball life in college. That's to get to the Final Four.
Nice play by Long Beach as they went past the first man, gave it to the outside hitter, that was Cross, and she put it down. Quickly into the match here for Long Beach is Alicia Mills, the freshman. She looked good the last time she was in there.
A big kill and a big solo block, and there's a mistake. Sheri Sanders doesn't do that too often. She's the 150 aces all-time Long Beach State leader in her career. She will end her career this year. 150 aces, and coming in Cross right there at 140 aces. Elaina Oden knocked over by mistake. Beckenhauer puts it through the block. So Beckenhauer with a risky move, hitting it right back on the free ball, and she gets it.
Oden very instrumental in the play with a block and then a hit, and then here's Beckenhauer on the overset. She puts it away. John Dunning, what success he's had here? A couple of national championships. He's only been here 5 years.
Sanders outside. Roof kept alive by Cross. And 4 hits that time. Tara Cross trying to get on the floor, and here come the Tigers. Ryan Gimolero wants to call timeout. He's checking something out with the officials. And it's timeout with Pacific squeaking ahead 10-9. 10-9, Cathy Scotlan serving after that timeout. Outside, Cross, kept alive nicely by Fifer. Here's her kill effort. White up front, Pullins puts it down. During that timeout, Vicki Pullins and Brian Gimolero questioning how many hits there were on that last point before the timeout. Pullins did not look pleased. You can see that look. That's how she looked on the bench. She came right out, a very determined young lady, and she gets a kill right away.
Yeah, I think she wanted to take out a little bit of frustration there. She got a one-on-one block with Elaina Oden. She put it through her.
She settles down and gets it back. It's 9-10. Big serve and ball attempted to be killed. Pushed over that time. White wanted to do it by herself, and it's going to cost them. It's going to go back over to Pacific. So Bob, the ball came over. White tried to kill it, and we see it time and time again. She didn't get it over the net. Her team had to pop it over. A free ball, and Pacific wins the side out.
Exactly, and going against the 6-foot setter in Beckenhauer, she is able to block the ball back, keep it alive. Good transition for the Tigers.
If you can do it quickly and catch the other team off guard, do it. But these teams are both excellent defensively, and no one is being fooled by these attempts at hitting it over quickly.
Well, the Tigers starting to take control here in game number 2. They lost game number 1, but they're out front 11-9. Elaina Oden putting this one away on a nice short set over the middle from Beckenhauer.
Ball rolls onto the court as Beckenhauer goes to serve. Good front line up there now for Pacific, Fifer and Oden. A lot of movement up front. Tough set for Sanders. Tire across from behind the line and asking her to do a little bit too much that time. Let's sneak it into the net. 12-9 Pacific. Here come the Tigers. Here comes the crowd. Sanders goes outside. White hits it off the tip. Side out to Long Beach.
Have you ever seen a volleyball player admit to the ball either touching or not touching it?
The only thing you will notice is that when they don't think they touched it, they will look up with astonishment.
Right.
If they think it does, usually they just kind of walk away.
You know, most of them have that look down.
Yeah. Well, I think they try to save it for when they know the referee is wrong. When they look at him with that incredulous look, they're saying no way. 9-12, and Krissy Fifer gets it right back for Pacific. Long Beach State, after that timeout, has been the null set. They've been 0. Pacific has done it all.
Fifer with some pretty placement, and after that nice tattoo on the back line, she goes back to serve it.
Cross, Sanders outside to White. Roofed up front. So what worked early for Antoinette White is not working now.
Scruggs and Oden along the side. Watch him block it back in. Elaina got all of that one.
13-9. Here's Fifer serving. Puts it right at Mills. Sanders short set. Blocked up front off Thompson. Oden just has to pump it over though. Nobody goes for it. Well, Long Beach hasn't come back on the floor since the timeout.
Boy, that's the truth, too. Long Beach playing really scattered volleyball right now. They are totally out of sync. The Tigers looked like they were having some problems early on. They've come back now, and now they're at game point here, 14-9.
Long Beach led, I believe, 9-8 and possibly even more, 9-7 maybe. Brian Gimolero giving some clues where he wants the team to go. I'd like them to go back to the way they were playing. That's where he wants them to go. Romero checks back in for Alicia Mills. 14-9, Pacific serving to tie this thing up at 1 apiece. Fifer. Tough play for Sanders. Pushed over by Cross. Chance outside, Oden. Kept alive. Sanders goes up front to White. Through the roof.
Well, the Tigers had a golden opportunity right there. They got a good set outside to Elaina, but they couldn't get all of it. Long Beach with a nice dig. They took the offense. They take the volleyball.
Got a long way to come back in this game. Romero serving. Up front, Cathy Scotlan. Tough play for Beckenhauer. Scruggs, just roofs up front. But not enough, because here come the Tigers. Over the top. Smart play by Pam Lance.
Yeah, very heady play by Lance. You saw the big block up in front. She just dumped it to the outside. Tucks it in neatly. Elaina Oden back to serve. Game point again.
14-9. Oden checks over to the side. See where they want to serve. They'll tell her what position on the floor they want that ball to go to. She goes deep in the corner. And ace serve. Romero fakes her teammate out. Thormahlen can't make the play. 15-9. Here we go.